What's up? I'm here with Chris Michael. So last night I began implementing this crazy autopilot AI booking system called Booked Solid. Now, Booked Solid is basically a system in which you have pre-built everything to build a brain that will basically promote, sell, and get you booked on autopilot as a magician, a hypnotist. I'm going to be using it actually to get more local public speaking gigs, even though I am going to be doing just a little bit of magic inside of those. But long story short, this has actually been booking people over the last few days of its release, and from my understanding, it's made at least $9,000 worth of bookings so far for people involved. And on top of that, the creator of this, who actually was gracious enough to share this, it basically has cut 100K plus in bookings from this over the last, so, I don't know, 6 months or so. He'll answer that in a moment and tell the story of utilizing it. So, all that being said, I want to introduce you to Chris Michael if you don't know him already. Chris, welcome, my dude.
Thanks, man. Super cool. Jacob and I were speaking a little bit before this, and he's drinking some like superpower tea. What do people know what you put in that?
Thankfully all of it's legal. You gotta have some Yorkshire tea. Shout out to Peter Turner because that's like his whole thing. Then you gotta have some creatine in there, a little bit of collagen peptides, some milk, everything you need.
The milk is the thing in there that sounded like the most insidious.
I love the milk in the tea though; it's so good. Or the other one that's really good, a little bit of,
Oh, come on.
yeah, that in there is good too. Mm.
I had a show in Columbus, and Jacob was kind enough to come and film it, and he just whipped that out of his pocket. He wasn't he, like didn't even know he was a magician or anything. He pulled it out of his pocket, starts putting it in his hair, and people genuinely thought you were using glue to style your hair.
Oh, this is the greatest thing ever, and I gotta give credit where credit's due. I saw Nicola Capo do that gag, and it's so good. Nick's a good performer. I love it, but yeah, like you can't. This is the best $25 you can spend, and basically give to Bizarro. It looks so perfect. I hit a lot of mileage out of this thing, but dude, let's launch in here. So first things first. I've known you for a while. We've obviously talked a lot about this stuff. I didn't know this really went this deep. So how long have you kind of been in this space and building this system up, this book solid? Or I don't know, would that be a better place to start, or you better place to start to get an overview of what book solid is actually and what they're going to be
Yeah.
getting probably from this?
I guess. Well, now that you say it, it's probably. I'll start with what it is, and then I'll tell you what went into building it because it started a lot
Yeah.
longer ago than people think. Even though I only planned to release it recently, it's basically a cut and paste of a similar business model that my manager had built for us to do bookings, which was fully automated, which is what it is. So, Booked Solid now in the age of AI, you don't need to rely on things like gig sites or having a sales agent that works on your behalf just to go and find leads. You don't even really need a business development manager. It's still good to have one. Like I still employ my manager and having him is still a vital part of my team, but I'd rather him be on the phone closing, building relationship with clients than I want him to be searching and scraping the internet for leads or using tools like Apollo by hand. And so I was like, man, everything is so quick and snappy with AI. Everything is fully automated and done for you. The amount of work it's taken off my plate in everybody knows like for writing or perhaps for like doing mundane tasks, it can automate that. But one of the things that we all decided as performers is, hey, business is the bigger word in show business. If we want to do these shows, we have to handle those bookings. And then somewhere along the way, we just focus more on that than we do on the actual performance. And that's not how it should be. And man, I have a whole really good story about how I came to the conclusion that you're going to create better if you just have free space to create. And you're ultimately going to perform better and be a better business person when you create space for yourself. But as an entrepreneur who's doing the bookings, you're also doing the advancing for the show. You're setting up the writers. You're the contract negotiator. You're doing all of it. You're basically just wearing yourself down to a point where everything feels like an emergency. When you're hungry for gigs and that lead comes in, you need to drop everything to go respond to because you don't want to lose out because we know the first person to respond gets the gig. 70% of the time or so, it's going to be the first person who responds. And I was like, this could all be automated. And with AI sounding so much like you, could basically be a clone of yourself, it's doing a better job than any human employee or asset that I've had in the past. It's performing better than all of them, probably even combined at this point. So I just thought that people don't really have the tools to build this. I think people are very limited in what they think that AI is. What's the ringtone? What's the song?
Staying alive. Sorry, my little brother
I
was
knew
calling
it was Staying Alive. Bro, that is such an
Yeah.
unexpected song to be your ringtone. Staying Alive is perfect.
Yeah, well, Sherlock fans will understand why.
Okay, that's what's okay. I got you. I got you.
The pool, he's about to kill both of them, and suddenly that phone ringtone goes off, and he answers the phone. Hello? What?
That's
Okay.
way cooler than me just thinking that you just have like an oldies as your ringtone.
No, dude,
Uh,
Jim Moriarty all the way, all the way.
have you ever watched Better Call Saul? Not to get too sidetracked. You
Oh,
ever
of
seen that?
course, of course.
Dude. See, but now that's a different ringtone. So explain what's going on there.
I don't know. I think he's trying another way.
Well, don't worry about it. I'm not overly worried about it. All I was going to say, I'm making it very long-winded, is just that people are really hesitant to use AI because they're not using it to its full potential. I mean, it's gotten so good now that people are cloning Skyrim in a single day and it's running better than the original Skyrim is. And that's like, if they can do that, then handling emails and bookings and following up with people and creating warm
Hmm.
leads is so easy. There's no reason you have to be drafting contracts. There's no reason you have to be drafting proposals. Let it machine learn your entire business and do it for you so you can go do things that you want to do. Yeah. That's what it is. Oh, and anyway, I guess for the building of it, when I had this other manager out in LA, I have two. I have one that's the East Coast, one that's West Coast. So Shady El Nashai, he does a lot of the bigger stuff in the business. He, when he first started working for me, made it an absolute priority that I work as little as possible, which I thought was really weird and uncomfortable. Like, I've never had it where people are trying to make me work less. But
Yeah.
he's like, you will be more successful when you have the free space to just drive yourself crazy, run out of things to do, and start creating out of passion, which you cannot do when you are constantly running on the hamster wheel trying to keep up. And he was like, our number one goal is to take everything off your plate. We don't want you worrying about anything. We just want you showing up at the gigs, feeling so excited to be there because you had nothing that you'd rather be doing, and just kill it. And he was right. Like the moment they took everything off my plate, dude, the amount of brands I was able to build, ideas, consulting I was able to do, it just skyrocketed. And without something like these AI tools, which it wasn't called Booked Solid when I made it, it was just called my AI agent. I didn't have a name for it. Um, Before I had any of those tools, I didn't have time to focus on these businesses. And now I've been able to be gainfully employed in multiple different disciplines, not just in
Oh
magic.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, dude. I mean, you never sleep. I know that part of the equation.
Meth.
Yeah, yeah. Those government connections are good, man. They give you
Yeah,
good.
well, actually, there's a UFC fight at the White House right now, and we just drove past it, and I was like, I'm usually at those kinds of things. Casey, my partner, she's a model in this area, so she gets a bunch of gigs. Dude, they put
No
out a
way.
request for her to be there, but she didn't want to do it because she had to wear like scantily clad American colored clothes and a big I Heart Trump hat and hand out. And she was like, I don't know how history is going to replay this a few years from now, so it's better that I don't do something that people will dig up and prevent me from ever working again. And I was like, that's a smart choice.
Yeah, that's a smart choice right there. That's great. Well, okay, so you built this for yourself, and then you're transitioning more into the speaking side of things more and more. You still perform, but you're just looking at it and going like, yo, the progression of my career is speaking. And you're looking at this going like, well, okay, this isn't sad. This isn't really gonna affect me. It's been highly effective for me. Let's give this out to, other people that might need this. And what have been some of the initial things? Like, just talk about this thing actually being used to market itself, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I decided to put it out, even though I have a lot of friends of mine who have known I've been doing this and seen the stuff I've been building, and one of their number one rules was like, don't ever let this get out. But I assume two things. One, this technology is so effective and so powerful that everyone's going to use it at some point or another. It's kind of like how we use email now, or how having a website is. If you just don't have a website, it's hard for you to even get booked nowadays. And this is becoming that new bubble in tech where you're going to be able to fully agentically run your companies, but the thing that it can't replace is your overarching vision, your ideas, your perspective. And that actually I want to really get across, because for people who are worried about not being creative enough to build things or not knowing how to do stuff, the knowing how to do stuff part is going to go away. Not completely. It's important to know your basic skill sets. In fact, using AI and training it comes from experience that you have. That you, what's the word I'm looking for? When you take something and you put it into something else, not impose, but
Inject.
yeah, it's a grosser version of what I'm trying to say. But yes, inject.
Yeah.
When you inject yourself into it and you train it to think like
Shout
you.
out to Greg Rostami. Shout out to OGG.
That was good.
Original Gangsta Greg with his magic app of the future. Yeah.
We love Greg. Well, so a lot of that stuff's going to go away, and the thing that it can't replace is perspective. And that's one of the reasons why I prefer to use the word perspective instead of creativity, because nobody's any more creative than another person. All it is are you willing to share your perspective about something and put action to share your perspective with others? And I think that this really gives you an opportunity to do that, because when the emails are being sent through your lens and how you decide to reach out to clients, how you prefer to talk to them. When your website is built for you in a way that really shows your perspective, your style, your aesthetic, your taste, your interests, who you are, then it frees you up to focus on the art, which is ultimately what we're getting paid for. I feel like I wouldn't want somebody who spends more time as a dentist trying to get dental clients in there than they do actually studying and learning and working on teeth. I want the dentist who's the best, who has the most hours in that field. So I want to get performers on the stage more. There's a lot of people out there that would quit their jobs if they can feel confident they'd get a steady stream of gigs. And I'll say this too, man. I can't guarantee that this is going to be an effective tool forever. I just know that like right now, it's new enough that not everyone is doing it, that the people who are smart enough to get in on this are going to capitalize on it and get big so quick. And once they see how effective it is, everyone else, they're basically going to be followers, and they're going to try to get into it, and it's going to be too late. And that's one of the things I think I've been really good at in business, is jumping to the next curve before everyone else. And instead of waiting to see if it works and being hesitant and being like, oh, I don't know if this is for me, I just dive in there and find out. And that, I'm so glad I did this with this AI system, because it was so easy for me to think it was going to ruin my business, that it was going to ruin my relationship with clients. My relationship with clients has never been better, dude. It texts them and just checks in on them, and then they call me, and then when they call me, it's calling me, not an agent, and I'm able to talk to them. Like, I'm sure I'll have clients that comment on this video that just be like, oh my God, we love Chris. We had no idea that you were doing all this. They have no idea, because it's treating them the way that I would treat them, and so that when I see them in person, I'm fully locked in and focused, and I'm able to do that with 100+ different clients, as opposed to just focusing on, the 3 that hire me the most.
That's killer, man. And that's really it. Because would you agree with this? Because, I mean, obviously, we're both marketers, both of magic, both way too into magic. Man, children, us. But, yeah, we're good man children, though. But would you say it's really the understanding that the most visible beats the most skilled? I say this all the time, where your visibility and your conversations, how you communicate with your prospects, everything like that, this is what this really solves, so that you're always top of mind and you're close emotionally to what they see as the solution to their big problem, their event, their whatever. Would you say that's kind of what this really does above anything else?
Dude, with my current job, I'm in
Nurtures.
the boardroom a lot. And if I'm not in the boardroom, I'm planning with companies for the boardroom. Some of these companies are $20 billion companies a year, and I'm helping them with sales strategies and learning negotiation tactics. One thing I'll tell you, man, and I'm not speaking about, I know there's going to be some clients that think I'm talking about them. So if you think it's you, it's probably not, okay? It's just, even if it is you, it's not you. I don't want to get the hate. Some of these people, I talk to the CEOs or even like the CMOs, and they are truly, absolutely unprofound people. They are unimpressive and just like mundane. They don't know anything more than you and me a lot of the time. The difference is that they're willing to take action. They're willing to push a team. They're willing to let their perspective be heard. There's that word again, perspective. And Alex Hormozy says something that I really, really align with, which is the only way to be confident, which is what's going to drive action. You're going to take action on things that you know you're going to be successful at. The only way to know that is to do it over and over again until you've done it so many times that you just know, if I do this, it will work. And that's going to be anybody who's trying to perfect this skill set and work on an app until it's perfect, or work on a system until they think people will accept it and there's no flaws. No, man, because even if you do that, take it from me as somebody who's developed apps for the Magic community, even if you spend an entire year working on something and you put it out, people are still going to find flaws that you never thought about. They're still going to discover use cases you didn't think about. So it's always better to push it out fast, get as many people in there as possible, but create that sense of community where they feel like they're building it together, and allow them to provide feedback so that ultimately you give them the tool that they want. I cannot believe this is just hitting me now because I haven't thought about this in years. Dude, George Harrison one time was in an interview. And by the way, I'm getting this secondhand. This is like from a podcast I heard once years ago. So I don't know the exact story. But what I remember from it is this. George Harrison once got interviewed about what a specific song was about. And if I knew the song, it'd be way cooler. But just follow me on this. They said, George, the song's so impactful. Is it true that you wrote it about this? Because it was like a single at the time. He goes, well, to tell you the truth, we haven't even fully finished the album yet. And even if we finish the album, we still don't know what the album's about. So how do we know what the song's about? When we release the album, the fans will listen to it. They'll tell us what the album is about. And then that will let us know what the song was about. So we don't really know until they listen to it. And I thought, man, what a cool answer, because you don't know what a product's going to be when you first launch it. Or, well, you know what you want it to be, but it always will shape and turn into something different if you're listening to the audience, because you only have the limited perspective of you and your team and your developers. When you start bringing outside people in there, like I'm going to give a shout out to Matt Adams. When he got involved in Q Killer, he doesn't work for me or anything. He's just a fan who used it. But the ideas that he generated and thought of are things I would never have thought to fix. And I even sent him a text message earlier today while I was eating lunch being like, dude, thank you for pushing me to make these changes, because while I didn't always understand them, I just trusted that my perspective probably wasn't the only right one. And when we put them in there and tried them, dude, the app is so much better now for that, you know? So anyway, all of this to say, I think that being visible and getting things out there allows you to iterate faster, which allows you to make a product that's desirable quicker, which means that you're going to get more sales. So yes, aim to be visible. Even if you're doing something and people hate on it, bad press is good press. The amount of hate that I get online is always directly proportionate and correlated to the amount of money that I make. Always. In fact, wait till you see some of the stuff I post with Q Killer. And people who have watched this video will know that I did this intentionally. One of the next posts that I have lined up for it, even though the agent writes most of them, the one that I've actually set up is, if your show queue system doesn't have these 18 features, ... you're not a serious performer. Why am I doing that? Because people are going to see that. It's going to trigger conflict detection. They're going to be like, oh, my show queue system doesn't have those 18 things, but I'm a successful performer. Who does this person think he's? And they're going to get in the comments, and that's going to drive engagement, and it's going to show visibility, and visibility is the key. So that's why I'm going to do that, because it's going to drive people to drive that engagement up. And yeah, I'm just validating your point over and over.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like, you've got to be in control of the story, and you know, everyone's have their own perception of the story, but but if you have the positive results from both sides of the perception of the story, you ultimately can still win, right? They hate it and they speak out against it, you still win.
Well, Jacob, you just got booked solid, right? You got it last night.
Yeah.
I called you and said, dude, get on this, let's do it. And I remember showing it to you initially, and you're somebody who I think is like on the forefront of a lot of this AI stuff and marketing. I mean, you spend your entire life thinking about that.
Yeah.
And dude, it was blowing your mind. So I don't want to share your story. Tell them, you know, no need to hype it up. You can just give like your honest thoughts about what you saw when you first got in there.
Yeah, so I mean, I had tried to set up like ClaudeBot back in the day, could not figure that out, never got it done, heard all the security warnings, blah, blah, blah. I've heard about Claude Code, which is what this is really built from. So when I set it up and everything, and it's a little bit of a setup, it's not anything insane, it just started being like, yo, okay, let's, you know, what's kind of, I told it like who I am, what I'm looking for. And it's a little different than what it's normally asking for, because, you know, I'm looking just for speaking engagements, maybe using some magic and special effects, you know, for my business. So it's doing Rotary clubs, looking for, you know, places where service-based business owners meet, like associations, and it's scraping these leads and finding the exact names, emails, phone numbers, and things like that, and then it's crafting up the right email to send out to them. Now, I'm still refining it, and but it's coming out pretty darn good out the gate. It's making the proper marketing materials for it. Yeah, it's kind of insane, and it's, you know, it's slowly learning what my voice is too as I'm giving it feedback. It's like, yo,
And
use parentheses here, for example.
something else that was blowing your mind was you didn't know that like it could take over your computer and open windows and search for people. You didn't know that it could like write code for itself and then like build the little tool that you need. It can write your own CRM. It can create email templates, and like the entire Booked Solid OS was built by Booked Solid to sell itself. All of the ads that you see from Booked Solid, as well as unless I've posted a video, if it's a photo or something, Booked Solid has made that and posted it for me. So all of the sales that Booked Solid has gotten, which has been a tremendously shocking amount in just 2 days, which is good because it's so needed. And the fact that I knew that I shouldn't probably put it out is why I put it out, because like it's so good that I don't want to share it means that I should. And I just know that everyone will use this. They'll get incredibly successful super fast. There'll be a big bubble. The people who know how to continue to implement will implement and iterate on it and make it better. And the people who just kind of set it up and do the base stuff will get a short pop from it beneficially, maybe book out a year or two, but then have to learn new tools again. And so I was like, dude, there's a short window of time where things like Fable are available to us, although it got shut down right when you got it. Right when you got it. Right when you got it, the government shut down Fable, which... Oh, dude, now it's my phone. Are you kidding me?
Bro, we're just popular people, man.
It's another magician. I'm going to answer it. Jackson, I'm on a podcast with another magician named Jacob. I'm answering on the pod. Really? Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay, thanks for swearing.
Are you live?
No, but we're recording, so I'm going to keep this part in. You have a message for the world?
I actually was just going to ask you to explain a little bit more in detail about the new thing.
Dude, you couldn't have been more perfect timing. We're literally just diving into it. And dude, they're going to think that this was a bit. You're talking about Booked Solid?
Huh?
You're talking about Booked Solid?
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious about, like, how it, I mean, like, I know, like, Claude Code and all that. Like, I'm using it right now, too, like, to make me, like, a new website and things like that. New Google Ads landing page, etc. But like, I was just curious, like, get a little bit more information about what it does.
I'll talk to you about it after, dude. It's gonna blow your mind. And the thing that we're saying right now is that it's important that you get the Booked Solid thing quickly. You take advantage of it while it's available. That's part of the reason why I made the price so affordable, is because it's really going to be used for those people who get in there, take advantage of it for the next few months, maybe up to a year, and then when everyone starts doing stuff like this, it's going to be a lot less powerful. So. Yeah, let me call you after this, but what crazy timing, dude. That was insane. And thank you. That was the universe.
Mind-blowing.
It was crazy.
All right, dude. See ya.
See ya.
There you go.
Anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying.
That's great. Yeah, oh God, where were we going down to? We're talking about email templates and everything this basically does, and how there's
we were saying, dude, it can control your computer. It can open the...
So that's it.
I'm going to share my screen with everybody. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, go right on ahead, man. Please do.
I just don't know if it's going to mess any of this up. All right, so I'm sharing my screen, and so what you're going to see here is one thing that you need to be aware of is, like, yes, it can go and scrape 100 leads and give you tons of emails. One of the things that I learned, and I actually really loved from Barry Friedman, who was one of my early mentors. I took Shoba's blueprint, so... Shout out to the blueprint.
Oh, Barry Friedman's awesome. That's cool.
He's so cool, man. One half of the Raspini brothers. I owe a lot of my career to him because he took me from doing, family shows and birthday parties into this, into what I am now, basically, based off of his teachings. Well, he told me one time about trying to get leads, and he's like, why are you trying to capture so many? Just, dude, at most, work on 5 a month, because those are people that you can follow up with. You can basically reach out to them until they say no. Because if they don't reach back out to you, that doesn't mean stop. It's when they say stop, that's what means stop. And he goes, so follow up with them until they die, and then buy a Ouija board and keep following up.
Yeah, buy or block.
So, yeah, man. And so I don't have it go through and get, so you could see this is kind of me running the Claude inside of the Booked OS framework. But one of the things that I have it do, sorry for the
flash.
Showing the matrix there, yeah. This is just a very simple write-up that it did, and it's taking action on this automated, so I don't have to do anything about it. But just so you can see, I just had to get 5 really high-value leads. And these emails that I just had it write this for the example for this podcast, these aren't the ones that I actually send out. I do more of a relationship reach out first. But you can see it got like pretty specific people that are important. And one of the things that I'm doing is not just using the BookedOS system, but taking the knowledge base from BookedOS and building it into things like Hunter.io, which has a free amount of leads you can do every month. You have Apollo, which has a free API, which you can integrate with. So it's taking this and integrating it into your tools. But the benefit of BookedOS versus using your own AI systems is this. It has every single course that I have ever made on business and marketing and magic and dealing with clients. So my whole Get Your Sales Together course is fully transcribed, uploaded, and trained. It's trained on my business for almost a year now, but very heavily on both me and my manager's side of the business for 7 months, training it and building it, because my manager had this idea of releasing this whole CRM business, which he's now launching, which is doing great for him. But I took my portion of it, how to talk to clients, what things work, the different reach out strategies, the time frame between reaching out, all of that, and built it into one tool. And you let me know if I'm going on too much, but I'm nerding out over this.
No.
It's so complex. One tool. So most people are just making a markdown. Do you know what a markdown is?
No.
It's just a file that the AI reads that's like, it's this, do this plan. You are this role, you're operating as for this task, your first thing is to do this, ask me these questions, validate it this way, and it's a markdown. It's just a set of steps that it follows to do that. Now that's great, but still I think like has aged so quickly. Because within BookedOS, instead of having one markdown that does lead generation, it is, I think, 13 markdowns of different tool sets called skills. So it's 13 skills on lead gen, followed by 4 agents that work for you. So 4 agentic tools or scripts that are each their own markdown. And then beneath that is 13 skills on lead gen, 5 agents that each have a different task to complete in parallel with each other, meaning it's getting results faster. And then 4 Python scripts that run actual code in your computer that do these things that you cannot do in your browser, followed by a whole validation system and just tons of work happening underneath. And that is one skill inside of multiple skills that make up BookedOS. That's why it is so good. But it can only get what it can find on the open internet. So putting it in tools that have access like Apollo and Hunter are going to get you really quality leads, and it's going to use all the information it knows from this stuff to match it with your ideal client and know what it knows about you and how you construct your business to create that reach out, to make value for them. It knows how to sell better than you do, trust me, because every sales statistic in the entire world built into one tool.
Yeah, no kidding. That's insane, though. Like, there's just so much going on with it. Like, I mean, as I'm wrapping my head around it more and more, it's just kind of expanding on, like, dude, I didn't know you could do this. Because, like, I think I was using Victor, which Victor's good because it has access to some other AI tools, too. But compared to like the polish of work, like there's very often I'll do Victor to do some tasks that I don't know or I didn't know Claude Code could do. But I'll pull it back and put it into Claude because it makes better everything for the most part. So, I mean, I think the only thing this thing doesn't dominate in for sure is Claude doesn't dominate in is the image generation category, and that's it.
For sure.
Everything else
Now,
they
on
really
Fable,
do.
it does do really well, but I still think like that's why I have my ChatGPT API key loaded into my Booked Solid OS, because every time I get an image generated, it will generate that for me. Like for instance, just to share my screen one more time, I had it generate a Zoom background for me to use for this call, but ultimately this program we're using called, what is this called again? Riverside?
Riverside.
Yeah, it didn't have the ability for me to make a background. But yeah, look, it generated, using the BookedOS branding guide, a whole backdrop for me, which is pretty good, you know? And it can generate videos for you, like all the tutorial videos from the program are actually generated. Dude, look, it makes like sample audios for me for
By morning, the
voiceovers.
reply was already written
You
in
probably
my
can't even
voice.
hear that, but
It knew the difference between a channel sales summit and a
I
birthday
actually don't know how
party.
to stop that, so
There
it's already over now.
we go.
But it's doing everything. And the whole BookedOS website, which I should have up here. Let me go to my Google Chrome. This entire system, the whole follow-up, everything, is all built by BookedOS, specifically using the sales funnels that it knows works and has been trained on. Down to even like the demo, which I just gently mentioned that it should do a demo. It knows, based on some feedback from Michael Eaton, that it should personify the agents, giving them agent names so people can connect with them deeper. It's done all of this, man. It's generated this graphic, which shows, you know, the lead gen tool we were just talking about. It's done all of this, man, and I haven't even needed to lift a finger on it. The only thing I did was create the tool over the last 7 months by training it, and I was just like, dude, this thing is making me so much money that if I put it out there and share it with other people, like, it's going to come back in multiple because I'm serving the community in a way that no one has served them before. I don't think there's ever been as good of a plug-and-play solution for handling your entire calendar. And here's the kicker. In Auto, the highest tier, I built something that I used for the summer to book my entire summer, and it's called One Shot. And it is a one-shot skill or system that you ask it to run. You could say run One Shot or Full House, same thing. And it will take your calendar, find any available dates with the rule set that you give it. So like maybe you don't work Sundays, or maybe you only want to work 3 gigs a week, whatever. And it will fully run autonomously in the background. Now, you do need to set everything up prior. All your tools need to be implemented. You have to have trained it well. It has to know your brand, has to know your marketing style. So I don't recommend writing this right out of the gate. But after about a week or 2 of using this, run One Shot. You can leave it on your computer and go live your life, and you'll come back to a full calendar of booked gigs. The gig that I'm going to do tonight at 7 p.m. that I'm leaving to go do, booked by Auto doing that process.
Really? That's insane. I mean, this is exciting for me because this is the problem I've had. I've been talking about myself for a long time, like, hey, I really want to get back into doing some speaking and, getting out there because I know this one-to-many sales is just so effective, right? Even if you're not coming in there, it's even more effective, I think, if you're coming in there and you're not selling anything, you're just giving value, which is why civic groups think are so good because these people have enough money to give to charity. And they have enough.
That's true.
They have enough business knowledge to have bought their freedom to give to charity. So they're very sophisticated buyers typically, right? So the idea of being able to use this even for my stuff and get in there, like for Magic, this is like, I think even easier. Because I think the big problem is most of these people in charge of corporates just don't even think of Magic because they don't know anyone that does it.
By the way, there's some resistance that you're feeling, and I know you're protecting your neck and your ventral side. You're covering your vitals here. You got a little low confidence there, which means this is like a truly and genuinely big problem for you. And it also shows that there's some like worry that maybe this tool won't even solve it. So just know that it will if you just spend the time on it. It's not one of those things where it's going to instantly solve your problems. It took me 7 months to get it to be what it is now, but I'd say within the first 30 days of using it, just first 30 days of really nurturing it like an employee, it became such a massive asset to me. And a lot of that work is already built into Book Solid. But the thing is, I had to remove some of the potency from what my system has because I had it to be act agnostic, meaning it knows my act, but it doesn't know yours. It has to learn everything. It knows my voice, but it doesn't know yours. Like it knows, for instance, for me, which I really thought about building this in there for everybody, but I didn't because I don't know how people want to present themselves. But mine really works on being excited and curious with all the buyers. So it never reaches out being like, hey, I'm Chris Michael, I do this. I was wondering if you'd be interested. No, it reaches out and just like, Sarah, I saw that you led the conference this year, in Salt Lake City. From the videos I saw on LinkedIn, it looks like you absolutely crushed it. How long have you been speaking? Because I have to pick your brain about some of the knowledge about how you've been doing this because you just absolutely looked wonderful up there, and I would love to just have a call where we can chat and catch up. Something like that. Probably a little too wordy, but it writes it better than I do. That's why I have it. And it's awesome because it just makes connections based off curiosity and excitement, It'll even just reach out to congratulate people, just being like, hey, I saw that you guys launched your new product this month. Congratulations. That's absolutely awesome. I'm sure you've been swamped with work. I really look up to companies like you. If you have 2 minutes, I just want to do a call and just be able to pick your brain about a couple of things. It'd be immensely valuable to me. And then I create that relationship on just chatting with them about their business. I don't provide any solutions. I just listen. I just ask questions. And then a couple of weeks later, we've talked, 4 or 5 times. I could be like, let me show you this thing that I made. And I just did that. I got $20,000 from a company just from redoing their website, all because I paid close attention to everything they were doing, noticed that there was some shift in some leadership, and was able to take action on that because I go, oh my gosh, they need this service right now. And when I came to them with a fully built solution and a proposal at a price they couldn't beat, that Booked OS was able to identify that opportunity based on reading my inbox and looking at the company and observing them. I would have not thought to take action on that if it didn't say, hey, Chris, on your action items, now that you have this tool, you might want to just build this site, offer it to them. You can solve a lot of their problems. This is a great way to create a strong, trusting relationship with this new client you've been nurturing. Oh my God. Thank you, Otto. I would not have thought of that.
Yeah. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So let's dive into this a bit. So there's obviously three different tiers, like we're talking about here. What's the separation point between each? And where do you, I mean, honestly, for guys, I'm just going to be straight with you for what? I think the top tier is 279. Is that correct?
297, yeah.
297.
Here's a little tip.
Don't
just
stick
throw this
around
way
to get
too.
that one, but
If you click the $39 option, you get them cheaper because it gives you an extra little offer to be like, wait, do you want? So if you're going to buy one of the more expensive options, there's a little tip for you. Click $39 first and then buy it from the little pop-up last chance thing it gives you. It'll save you $20. So I shouldn't be telling you that, but I just thought like, yeah, you're already watching this. I'll give you a little tip.
If you made it this far in, we're 36 minutes in. You deserve that. You deserve that.
Sorry, Jacob. What were you saying? I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. Let's talk about the different levels of them, what really separates them out, and then I think a good thing to talk about too is like what are like the additional costs. Like, you know, this is the cheapest lead generation systems I've ever seen. 'Cause, I mean, for mine, I'm paying, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 a month in ads. I'm paying a VA, you know, sometimes upwards of $1,000 a month. That's not even including software and everything. But for this is like one of the leanest things I've ever seen. So let's dive into that a bit.
So really cool that you asked that because I was just talking to my manager, Travis, the other day, and we're looking at our recurring expenses. And there's so much we don't use anymore. When I look at all the tools that we use, I spend $6,000 a month on my magic business. That's my average cost per month. And honestly, it's only gone up because I do a lot of trials on tools and then forget to cancel the subscriptions. Now that's also counting like I write off my office, and so I count that as a business expense because I get to write off part of the square footage of where I live and everything. So, you know, let's just say 5,000 or so dollars of that is spend on tools and employees, etc. So with that said, I think the only things that I pay for now, and I'm really giving away my secret sauce here. I'm always going to pay for API keys that are valuable that I'm using consistently. For me, that's ChatGPT, obviously Claude. Here's a big one, Netlify. If you can get Claude or the BookedOS system inside of Claude, either one of those, because BookedOS actually operates as a different, depending on how you choose to set it up, because there are three different options, it will run as a completely different ecosystem to your regular Claude, which I recommend because it gives you a lot cleaner usage of it. Probably getting a bit too complicated. But give whichever tool you're using the most access to your Netlify, which is just like a web hosting website where you can host websites, but it can go in and it can make edits to the website for you, all automated. It can upload things. It can add back-end security. It can add, like when it signs up affiliates, it fully syncs them right into Stripe so they get payout automatically. It alerts them via email when they get an affiliate sale. I didn't have to set any of that up, and that's a lot of work that I would have normally paid an assistant or VA or just an independent contractor to do. None of that I'm paying for anymore. So Netlify, ChatGPT, Claude, I pay for both my account, which I'm on the $200 a month account, which I know sounds like a lot, but the value that I'm getting back out of it is insane. I would pay double that, and I probably will if they offer a new tier in the future. I definitely will be going up because it's like exponentially increasing my income. And then things like 11 Labs for voiceovers. I always have one of those. I have Suno for music, but that's just more for fun and for my shows, for Q Killer. I'm trying to think if there's genuinely anything else that I use. Oh, I probably just my Google Workspace. That's just because I have employees that need to use that. But I think it's free to connect Claude directly into your Gmail. But be careful if you're doing a lot of outreach. 5 a week or so, probably no big deal. But if you're going to be sending a ton of emails out, create a new email on a new domain so you don't just drop your deliverability.
I would say too, guys, if you're going to do that, because be careful using your main domain. So don't just make a sub account in your domain and then do it. Like, because if you get flagged for that, whatever, and they're heavy on this right now. This actually almost killed cold email a while back. You know, you're gonna, if you have an aged account, it'll help you a little bit. An aged paid account at that, but make sure you research cold email a little bit. I wouldn't say it's going to be a worry for this, sending out like 5 a week.
And it's also fully compliant. So I built an entire compliance
Exactly.
routine for it. So it makes sure that it does. Because I knew if I was giving this out, I didn't want, because people are going to be getting this in different countries. So it had to follow those rules, which I'll be honest does make it a little less powerful, but it's better we play by the rules than break them and regret it later. So
No,
that's
agreed.
something that I think is really important too, is studying how to build these things ethically. But for the different tiers, which was something we were just talking about, it's a little bit hard to understand if you're just getting into this stuff. So think about Booked OS as like the base tier is a knowledge system. It knows how to structure emails, respond to clients, how to price you, what the market can bear, what the best leads for you to go after, how you should position yourself better. So just like hiring a consultant to come in there and make your business better. It will draft emails for you if you say, "Hey, I've got this email that came in," or "Hey, here's access to my email. Can you just go ahead and read all these things and tell me what to reply or take care of it?" But the lowest tier thing is basically you're driving it completely. You don't even have, it's like not having cruise control. Even you're just driving it, but the thing will be the vehicle that's pulling you along. It'll do a lot of the thinking and a lot of the hemming and hawing and the, man, I don't know if I want to send that email because I just want to craft the right reply. It's fully trained based on tons of successful performer metrics, how to do that for you. So this is, you're telling it what you need, it does and takes care of it for you. Pearl, so that's Soul. That's the littlest one. Soul, that's the $39 one, which for most people is going to be all that they need, because a lot of people aren't ready for the full automated stuff, right? So a lot of people aren't even using AI to the level that they're not even installing Claude skills yet. So like, start there if you haven't touched any of that stuff. For people who have downloaded a few Claude skills and are still using it in their browser but maybe want to take it to the next level, there's Pearl. And Pearl's going to show you how to put it directly on your system so it's running on your computer without needing to have your browser, and it's going to do more things as you. The difference is it's not fully automating things, but it will be more proactive. So instead of you saying, "Hey, check my email, see if there's any to reply, draft replies for me," it's saying, "Hey, Jacob, I noticed that you have 4 emails you haven't responded to. I'm going to draft some replies. If that's okay with you, just say the word and I'll do it." And you say, "Great, draft those." It gives you them to read, and you say, "Send those out." And it's really optimizing that admin workflow for you. The other thing it does, it has better memory, so it can remember all your past tasks and projects, so it's consistently learning. So the $39 one is just, this is plug and play. This is my knowledge base that I've given to you that will work if you just plug and play it. Pearl is like, "Hey, I'm going to learn how to run your business for you and also take everything from Chris's business and other performers' businesses and help that refine your goal for your company. But I'm also going to be proactive and come up with my own things to do for you." But you still kind of have to hit go on them. Auto, which, let me just share my screen because I have a really cool representation of this. So if we go down to the bottom, there's some demos here. And by the way, while I'm here, I'll just mention to you, please use this Ask Me Anything. A lot of you guys are asking me questions that you can easily just click this and ask, and it's trained to answer most questions for you. It's not the same AI that's in Booked Solid because it's very expensive for me to run that on here and answer all the questions that come in, but it is a little dumbed down version of Soul that you can talk to. So now going down to the bottom here, here's our 3 tiers: Soul, Pearl, Auto. And this is kind of a basic example of what each of them does. So you can tell it, "Hey, a country club just emailed me. What do you charge for 2 hours?" It's going to read the inquiry because you told it to check. And then it's kind of come up with a good price that this country club will pay. And it's drafted the email for you. And then basically you can take all this and just send it out to the client. So it's done all the thinking for you. It's done. And I know that people are like, "Well, my AI can do this." Not nearly as good, because this is built with a ton of knowledge bases, different tools, research assets. It also has a lot of information about what the market can bear in different areas, a lot of good stuff like that. Now, if we go over to Pearl, this is where things get a little bit cooler. This one's going to run on your computer, not in your browser. And so that means you can also do it completely remotely from your phone, but still be controlling your computer at home, which means you don't have to worry about having the right files on your phone wherever you go, because it's all taken from your computer. Anyway, it basically reaches out to you already. It messages you before you need to message it, and it just says, "Hey, this month this is kind of what things are looking like. I have quoted these 3 events. I have Marriott, which we've sent a contract out, and we won this Delgado 40th birthday party. And hey, also I've drafted a follow-up for Riverside Country Club because we haven't heard from them, so I drafted that for you if you want to go ahead and send it." So it's just being proactive. You don't have to think about what tasks have to be done. It's telling you what tasks need to be done and doing a lot of the work for you. Auto's where it gets really crazy. And I'm hesitant to show this because I don't want people to be convinced that they need to have this. This is definitely for our more advanced users and people who like if you're already working pro, doing great, you're already familiar with some AI tools, this is what I would recommend because this is far and away better than every single AI tool you're going to have available to you as a performer. So you have two options, for review and fully automated. In my research of looking at the users, most people are using for review. What that tells you there's not a big enough comfort level to just let it run your business and walk away. For me, everything is fully automated. The only thing I don't have it do is call the clients. It's still setting client calls for my manager to do because I still want him closing on the phone. So let's just look at the for review one as an example. It's telling me, okay, hey, while you slept at 11:41 p.m., I ran this. Sorry, it keeps typing me messages. Let me let it finish. There we go. Hey, I found 18 new venues. 5 of them are warm leads already for you. At 1:07, you had an inquiry from the Bayview Hotel, so I guess their booking person's up late. I saw an inquiry for a wedding planner. Also, today's follow-ups for you are fully compiled. I also pulled all your numbers and built a briefing of your income and open quotes. So now I can just review everything and I can just hit, hey, approve this. Yeah, let me read those emails. Go ahead and send those. And I don't have to go and do it myself. I'm just reviewing the work it's doing and saying, yes, go ahead and push it. Also, hey, I made 2 flyers for July because your July's looking a little skim. I figured if we put $20 into ad spend, we can get about roughly $9,000 of bookings in July. Do you want to push those? Worth a shot for $20, right? And then you could even say it'll even do stuff like this. Tonight's show is already taken care of. I reach out to the client. She's confirmed everything on the rider is handled. There's a power outlet right where you need it, and the final head count is 120. She says she's excited to see you and asks if you want anything while you're on the way. Do you want me to respond or open the email so you can read it? I'm like, yeah, let's open the email so I can read it. And then boom, it's going to show me the email. And normally at this point, it would just say, do you want me to respond or do you want to respond? So now the only slight difference here is if I go to fully automated, it's the same thing, except instead of asking me to do it, it just gives me a full list of, hey, here's what I've completed. So it's telling me, hey, I've sent this, I've ran these numbers, I've pulled this. The only thing it won't do automatically is run ads. You still need to sign off on those. But I'll show you a little system I built. Actually, let me bring my camera back up. For QKiller, I don't know if people know this, that business is fully autonomous. The building of the app itself and the system used basically what was BookedOS, Port BookedOS, to get all of, dude, I have so much to show you about this. I'm about to blow your mind.
Love it.
I know I'm talking so much, but dude, I love this stuff. So, okay, Killian feedback form. So people submit feedback into the app and it stores all these. You can look, I have 874 responses in there, just recently. And you can see all the response times, what they're asking for. And what this means is that it's fully taking the responses, weighing how likely they should be added in the app, and then autonomously pushing it for me to review. So each night I can go into the app, I can review the change it's made, tell them I like this, don't like this, and then push it to the users. Fantastic, right? But same thing with my ads for QKiller. When it's running the QKiller business, that whole Facebook page, never touched it. I don't need to post anything. I don't need to generate the content. I don't need to comment and reply to people. Killian, the AI, is doing all that for me. In fact, it's even telling me, look, 59 new users this week. It's doing all this on its own. It's sending me, autopilot. So it's telling me, hey, these are all these posts that I've scheduled. These are going out. And it gives me the option to kill it before it posts. But if I don't do it within a certain amount of time, it's just going to do it anyway.
That's cool.
This is how I have it set up. Yeah. You can also see, look, it's telling me DMs that it's sent to other magicians about the tool. And
so it's like DMing from your personal Facebook and everything?
DMing from my Instagram account.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick. Yeah, man. People don't realize the power that's in this and being able to have it go into anything pretty much and do outreach. So it can find multiple sources too for where someone's at. It can hit them from multiple angles, which is really
Here's
great.
A clip that's going to get pulled and posted, and I just know this. So MCP is a term people need to know about right now. There was this whole API craze back in the day, taking APIs and putting them in your app. Now the craze is MCP, which is Modal Context Protocol. These are basically ways to say, hey, here's the version of your app that your AI agent can run for you. Facebook has a great MCP. You can control everything from posting to liking to commenting to replying to DMs. Everything can be run with a Facebook developer program at developers.facebook.com. And you can put your entire Booked Solid agent right in there, whether it's Soul, Pearl, or whoever. Probably not Soul could do it, but I would say Pearl and Auto can. and it would get everything done on your Facebook in terms of marketing and posting. In fact, a lot of this posting that I'm doing for Booked OS, this whole Booked Solid thing, and I can prove it to you by opening up my developer portal. You can see the posts and ads that it runs, how it does things. Casey's going to the pool, I suppose.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. And a lot of these tools will have MCP, so you can just, you can basically, it's a USB-C for AI. Think of it that way. It's plugging your AI into the tool.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense. So, I mean, let's look here then for like, we're kind of wrapping things up because we've gone over a lot, and there's a lot in here about what this is, which is insane. For you, like, what do you see as being like, what should people know about this that we haven't covered already, and where can they go to pick this up, essentially? Which I'll include my affiliate link down in the description below or something. But
and when I repost this, Jacob, for you taking the time to do this for me, I'm going to post it with your affiliate link as well, so that way you can get everything off of it. Our affiliates have already made over $2,000 because that just shows the want for this, right? They post it and people are immediately buying it. The fact that this thing is carrying itself so quickly just shows how much of a need there was for this. Because this is the first time in history that I can think of that without going and trying the pain of finding a good manager or a good employee, which a lot of people don't know how to do, which is a skill that I've really harvested, is finding good employees and staff. You don't need to know how to do that as much. You still should have human staff. You absolutely should. I'm still pushing for you to do that. But you can now get them to focus on way more important, less mundane tasks while this deals with the business back end for them. And so the thing that I'll tell people that they need to know is this is not a replacement for human employees, but boy, is it a great alternative if you're just not at that place yet. The other thing is that when you say, oh, I'm already using AI, oh, I see this, but I think I'm already using Claude, I'm using ChatGPT, I have yet to talk to a single magician other than one person who has at all even come close to using the amount of MCPs, the amount of Python tools, the amount of skill sets, the amount of different GitHub integrations that we have in this thing to make one solid agent specifically for booking their gigs. Only one has come even close, and I even then I'm still giving them advice on how to make theirs better. So if you're already interested in AI, this is the people I'm targeting. I'm not targeting the people who've never used AI before. If you've never used AI before, go ahead and get Soul, the basic one, and that will change everything for you. It'll be everything you need for
it is game changing on its own,
But if you've already been messing with AI, give Perl or Auto a try. Auto's for somebody who genuinely just is like, I want to make X amount of dollars in 3 months, set it up, run it, and just see how close it gets to that number. It'll shock you. Perl is like, hey, I just want to have somebody who's doing a lot of the work for me. Then I know what I want to do each day. I know how I want to run my business, but I just don't want to do all the grunt work. You can go ahead and offload it to Perl.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Well,
this is insane.
Your affiliate link, I guess. I won't plug the website. They should just go and check out the affiliate link attached to wherever this video is.
I appreciate that. Love that. Yeah, so I mean, dude, you've created like what could possibly be a revolutionary tool in the magic industry. And I mean, you've already helped a lot of... Dude, and the thing is, people need to look at your reputation too. Like, I didn't know you, and you didn't know any of this tech stuff like a year and a half ago. You just picked it up and learned it all. And like, I consider myself pretty knowledgeable in the AI space for the most part. I'm using like Claude to speak to Manus, to speak to Cowork, to speak to... The stuff you've shown me in this is just like so next level. Like, you're discovering things inside of AI, inside of iPhone, inside of all this crazy stuff. And I mean, there's other things we need to go on to sometimes about too, because you're wearing them right now, like Civil Sight and other things. Yeah. We need to like have another follow-up thing with that, because I'm super interested in that as somebody that wears smart glasses, but Civil Sight's better for what you've got on, which is G2s. And I'm actually about this close to buying some G2s just for this.
A little mind-blowing thing is I run the Booked OS software on these glasses because we built in a better version of the terminal mode that Even Realities has, a much far capable and more user-friendly version into Sybil Sight. So I can use my full Booked OS agent here, and it connects and auto-fires when someone's talking to me about a potential lead at a gig. So someone goes, hey, what are you doing next year in August? Immediately goes, okay, there's some booking intent here. So it's going to store it, and then later it's going to fire off all the Booked OS tools to auto-capture that. And so I never have to think about following up.
That's so cool. I love
Yeah, and if I
that.
don't forget to get their email, it does remind me before I leave the venue to go and get it from them. However, which is really cool because it does it based on voice fingerprinting and not hearing their voice for a certain amount of time, meaning I probably left their presence and need to go back to talk to them. But if I don't get it, I can still run an MCP to a server like Apollo or Hunter that will go and take their name and their job that I know that they have and download their email and phone number. So I've never even needed to get it from them.
That's insane. That's insane. And I mean, people don't know what Apollo and that stuff is, but that's like a lead, depository essentially. Like there's every lead you could ever imagine is on Apollo for the most part.
Do you know
In
how they
fact,
got
it's
there?
got an API, which is crazy.
Do you know how they got all their leads? Because I looked into building my own Apollo. Maybe,
I think they got it from getting the Facebook leaks, didn't they? And then,
yeah, partly.
yeah,
So they have a browser extension that scrapes websites. So every time there's an email that shows up, it pulls it. When you get the extension, you're giving it permission to access that tool. You're signing the agreement. And every time you're opening your email inbox, it's scraping every email. So all your sent emails, all your received emails, and it's cross-checking that and adding it to its database. So every
that's
single
sick.
person who's on that browser extension, which is really good because there's a lot of value in that browser extension because it will auto-find contact details and stuff for you and make it easier to find. It's just been pulling your email database constantly. So it has more emails available to it than almost anything else.
That's insane of itself right there. That's crazy. Well, all right. Well, cool, man. We went over a lot of stuff. I'm glad we covered this. Like, this is gonna be mind blowing for people when they get it. And I know the chances are here soon you're gonna be on your content production freaking horse making a bunch of crazy. You're not gonna believe what I figured out today because that's just how you are, and you'll have a lot more value added in. So people that do get like any level of this, just understand there is going to be success from it if you just let it do its thing. Like, you can't be scared of it or anything. Like, business is betting on yourself. And if you've never bet on yourself, then you've never really been a business person, okay? You've just been a magician that's going in and doing fun party tricks. Like, it just is what it is. It separates the men from the boys, right? This is not a
Yeah.
huge bet either. What, $100, $200 for Claude code and then like max 297 for this?
People are running it with their $20 a month plan. It just depends on how much, like, you
I'm running a
probably would be
$20
okay
a
with the
month
$20
plan.
a month plan for Claude Code, right?
I'm using it with that, and it's been fine. I just ran out of a little bit of usage before I got on this call.
But it
And that's
resets
it.
daily, doesn't it?
Yeah, it resets every few hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a 5 hour usage
Yeah.
window. So you're probably gonna be fine with that. For me, like I'm running so much through it all the time that I need to have like the biggest plan available. But I very rarely run out of usage for the week. I'll sometimes hit my daily limit if I'm like really doing a massive project, but I would be shocked if anybody is doing a project, at the scale that I've been setting this stuff up because building this system was like the most usage I used because it was basically farming out. You can imagine taking all the information from 7 months and building it into a really nice condensed ecosystem was not easy to do computing wise. So, yeah. But anyway, I don't want to. I know we're ending, but I just will say this. I know that people are gonna just aim to go for that $39 one, and I think that's great. If you do that, just know you can upgrade in the future. But I have to tell you, like, it's hard to overestimate how much more money and how much more freedom and how much better your company and business will be when you use this. The fact that it's only $297, you can call me crazy. I am convinced that I am basically doing everybody here a solid. I'm a
Yeah,
1,000%
you are.
convinced that this is just me gaining good karma because $300 for this is absolutely stupid.
It's
All
almost.
I've
Here's the
done-
problem is it's almost so affordable and perfectly and cheap and it's so good that I think it's almost because it's so low that I think it might sketch people out. But it's just
Agree.
it's legit AF. But I think that's good too. We're repelling people that are scared to bet on themselves at even a low level.
I just wanted to sort people out based on who's going to take it serious or not. I just feel like that was a number that, like,
Yeah,
people,
I agree.
if you're not a professional magician, you probably don't need $297, but you might be curious about it and want to pay $40. So that's really what I thought. Is like professional, full-time working pros can get this and boost their business and take stuff off their plate, or people who are just kind of messing with the idea of getting into performing and booking their gigs can get that smaller one. The smaller one's still good for pros, but not people who are actively using AI. And so I guess it is hard to overestimate how much this will serve you, and it's not just like I'm trying to oversell it. I am basically saying that, dude, You know what? I'm just going to put it out there. If you don't have this, it doesn't have to be mine, but if you're not using tool systems like this or agentic softwares like this, you are absolutely and utterly behind right now. Like from this point forward, your business is now behind officially
Yep,
because there is
I agree.
no keeping up with these guys. There is no keeping up with the people in systems like BookedOS or people who know how to build their own agentic platforms. It is a game over for you. The thing that will save you, which will always save you in business, is personal relationships. You probably have strong relationships with clients that are year after year booking the same people, and that is awesome. But in terms of generating new work for yourself, these guys are getting to everybody first and closing it and following up better and talking to them in a more refined way than any other tool set you have.
It's all about communication and visibility. Yeah, that's it. And this solves both those things, on differing levels of autopilot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, Jacob, thanks for the time, dude. This was fun. I didn't expect to get so passionate about it, but I just love talking about how I created this stuff.
That's everything you make, you're this passionate about. That's why, you can reliably know that when Chris puts something out, it's, for lack of better words, the kitty's titties. There's no other way, there's no better way to say it. You just know.
Does that go on my website now? The kitty's titties.
Yeah, the kitty's titties for getting
My
book solid.
new job for working for the founder of the behavioral analysis unit of the FBI.
It should be like a
starting in October. He's gonna love that being on my site.
Cat should be in the back. Should be on the page with a little Chris Angel and a little David Blaine, a little Dynamo and a little Mark Paul, all on the titties of the kitties. It should be just like that. Little milk drips on their faces.
Wait, dude, I heard that you got something that is the shit. Is that true? Did you get that thing, or did you? Because I don't want to make it up.
Yo, dude, I haven't showed you this shit yet.
No, you haven't showed me the shit. What is it?
Yo, bro, look at this shit.
That's so funny.
Yeah, my cat made it.
Hey, that's the kitty's titties. Oh, and hold on, dude. I thought that I had people ask me if I do ketamine because I put that thing on my story about I was like, now that your business can run itself, feel free to fall into a K-hole. I was just making something stupid to just break them all. I did not get a good return on that.
So funny.
I try not to think too much about what I post because with this new job I'm starting in October, there's a lot of visibility that I get, especially with government agencies, and you gotta be careful. But I'm also like, I don't want to filter myself fully, but they are expecting somebody who shows good judge of character. Yet even though when I was trained in counterintelligence, one of the things that they first teach you, like one of the very first sessions you get, is they make you read this passage about why you need to be willing to be, oh gosh, what is the wording? Ignoble. You have to be willing to be ignoble, meaning like not noble, and you have to be willing to be deceitful, but also virtuous to your country in terms of like your desire to serve them. So you have to be loyal to your country, but willing to be ignoble and be able to be deceitful for the protection of the people of that country. And that's one of those things that you basically agree to do just to protect everyone else. And it's like, dang, that's what they're making us sign up for that. What was my point of saying that? Oh yeah, so yeah, me posting that was probably the most ignoble thing. So if they try to say anything, it's a pretty ignoble post to post about falling into a K-hole while BookedOS runs your business.
Well, but it's true. You can fall into a K-hole while BookedOS books your business. So, but user experience may vary whether or not you have said K-hole present or not, is what we got to take into account.
One of my government agency clients is the city of Richmond, so I'm working on a development project for them to raise funds for the city to get their public transportation up, and I'm using a lot of my behavioral skills to help coach them through what it's like to raise funding rounds through sponsors, how to get that persuasion, how to build that brand, and she's very buttoned up, very corporate, and she saw that post, and her response was just WTH.
That's how you know it was good. That's how you know it was good.
Yeah. I'm actually going to have lunch with her on Tuesday down in the city to talk some business. So,
bro, you should bring like a little fake syringe.
Is that what ketamine? I don't even know.
I think that's how you do it. I don't know either.
But anyway.
Yeah. But dude, this is wild. We got some good value in here. I love it. We'll go. I lose him? I lost him. There he is. I was gonna say, it's like, oh, well, that was a quick outro.
Do you think I'm back in the recording?
Yeah, you are. The recording's still going.
All right, sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, we're all good. But yeah, man, wrapping this up because I got to go. My little brother's downstairs. We're gonna go to the pool. We're gonna be like your lady friend. We're going to the
Yeah,
pool.
and I'm gonna go get ready for this gig. I gotta steam my suit and get that all ready.
Yeah, a gig that was booked by Book Solid. Oh
Yeah, man, booked it pretty. Yeah, I'm shocked that it found one that was coming up so recently, like so soon. It actually booked this earlier the previous week, so I was really surprised because normally it books three months out for me, which is what I've set it to do. But found an opportunity that was really easy to close on, so it's cool.
That's freaking sick. Well, guys, go try this thing out. If you don't know Chris, add him on Facebook, find him on Instagram. Guy's insane. You'll see. Just like so much value pours out of Chris, it's crazy. But
Oh, thanks, man.
thank
I
you
hope I
all.
live up to it. People put
Yeah,
so much
you
stock
do.
in me sometimes. I'm just crazy.
Yeah, you are a wild one. Like some of the shit you come up with, I'm like, how the fuck, dude? How do you do this?
Just don't sleep. Just drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Think in the shower really hard.
That's the process right there.
Yeah, I study a lot too, and actually, in a full serious thing, people do not know. I mean, maybe my close friends who hang out with me do, but I am reading or listening or watching or taking courses constantly. I am,
Yeah.
and I have an incredible memory. So, like, if I hear something, I will always, well, not always, but I will mostly remember it. I couldn't really remember that thing from the counterintelligence certification from DoD Cool, but I still, for the most part, most information I'll absorb. So I think that's part of it is I have this access to things that I can just tap into to be like, oh, problem? Okay, I remember a solution from this 4 months ago.
Yeah. You'd be the best lawyer ever.
Yes.
You'd be an amazing lawyer. Well, all right.
Yeah, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching this, Jacob. Thanks for having me, and check it out. No pressure, and you know what? You can always get a refund if you don't like it. So buy it, and then just check it out and refund it, and screw me over. I give you permission.
Anyone that refunds this, you're a dodo.
I do
But
think
you
that, but
do
it's
have
fine.
the ability to do it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Check out Booked Solid OS. It's amazing. Hit Chris up. He'll answer you on anything. But, don't let sleep on this. Get on this because why the f not would you? Like, dude, 1 gig should pay for this tenfold. So come on, guys. Let's go. See you next time. Cheers.
Thank you. See ya.